Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you're having a blessed day wherever in the world you are. It's Dr. Eric Naputi. It's our Wednesday night wellness workshops. I'm super excited to be with you all today. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you guys can see me and hear me. Let me know where in the world you guys are watching from. We have some really exciting things to talk about tonight. But before we do that, let's give everybody a moment to jump on. It's top of the hour. For those of you that don't know, my name is Dr. Eric Naputi, functional medicine practitioner. I've been practicing now for over 20 years, have helped train thousands of doctors across the planet on how to find the cause of their patients' problems and help patients fix the cause of theirs as well. So tonight, what I do is every Wednesday we get together and we have a workshop, and I teach certain things of our BioLimitless technologies to our BioLimitless global community. For those of you that are new to BioLimitless, BioLimitless is a system that I created over 22 years of being in practice on how to get to the root cause of people's problems and how to fix the root and not just chase the symptoms. This is what people have been wanting for the past 20 plus years. I've been in practice for it, and now the global world is asking for it. In fact, doctors are asking to be trained. Governments are asking how to put this into play. And it's really exciting to be here to explain this with everyone. So tonight we're going to talk. I'm going to lecture a little bit with you guys for probably about 30 minutes or so, and then I want to get into some heavy Q&A. I know you guys really enjoy the Q&A component of our Wednesday night workshop. So let's get into it. So first of all, I want to see where everybody's watching from. I see people from all over the world. We got folks from Japan. We got folks from Malaysia. Folks from Europe. We got some Europeans that are up, I guess, early or late. And then we got folks from all over the U.S. I see folks from South Africa. I see folks from Norway. I see folks from all over the United States, St. Louis, Missouri, Michigan, Alabama, Illinois. God bless you guys over in Illinois. So let's get into this tonight. Make sure you guys like this and share this. If you have any friends that you know need to hear this, hit them as well. I see Michael in Costa Rica. I see Kaz in the UK. I see folks from all over the globe. So let's get into this. What I want to talk about tonight is a system that I created through BioLimitless purely out of frustration. Now, I want you to hear me on this. So the system that we're going to talk about tonight is, well, when people say I've tried everything and I say you haven't tried this, like I'm going to say that again, you haven't tried this. That's because the T.H.I.S system is what I'm going to share with you. And this is the first time that I've ever really shared this globally, publicly. This is how we train our AI software. This is how we train our doctors. This is how we train our patients to understand what's going on with their health. And this system that I'm going to show you today was brought out of frustration that my patients weren't getting the results that they needed, frustration that my patients were doing the things that they were told to do, but they weren't doing it in the right order. They weren't doing it the right timing. How many of you would agree that, like, if I'm going to bake a cake or bake a pizza or bake whatever is like you're famous for doing, whatever your famous dishes that you make, how many of you know that you've got to have the right ingredients? And it's not just having the right ingredients, but it's when to put things in, when to take things out, when do you put it in the oven, how soon do you pull it out before you serve it? There's an art and a science to everything. How many of y'all would agree with that? Can I get an amen to that? And how many of you would agree with me that medicine used to be an art and a science? There was an art form to it and a science to it. Now it's purely, I don't even know if there's much science to it. There's a lot of political science to it, and there's an awful lot of commercial science to it, right? And I understand there's a business, and we have to have business. But if we can help people, and if I can help people help themselves, this is what we want, right? Like Kaz just nailed it. Kaz just said this in the UK. Kaz says, frustration has haunted me for 30 years of banging my head against the wall with doctors, all kinds of physicians. Kaz, I get it. So listen. Engage me for the next 30 minutes or so. Then I'll answer some questions. I want to get into this topic tonight because I want to talk about the T.I.S BioLimitless system, which is a life-changing system that your body's been waiting for. So let me pull this up so that you can see this. And I want to talk about it. We're going to get into this pretty heavy tonight. Let me remove my pretty little face just for, let's try that again. Just for a second. Let me remove my face from here. Oh, that's why. There we go. All right, so let's try this instead. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, well, sorry, Dr. Eric is learning a new system. So this is the new system that I want to discuss with you. Let's talk about this. There it is. Okay, so this is the THIS system that I created out of the last 20 years of frustration of my patients not getting the results that they need. Okay, so this just hear me on this. I'll put my pretty little face back up here in a minute, but let me start with this truth bomb. Okay, most people don't fail because they're not trying. They fail because they don't have a system. This is the system. This is the system that we created for BioLimitless that I've been using to get results for my patients for the last 20 years where no other doctors have been able to get them. And we've been able to put this into our ecosystem throughout the BioLimitless software and the technology. And I want you to understand that this is a system. Like the word system, does that mean anything to you when you hear the word system? Do you think of anything? So system is an acronym. It stands for save yourself time, stress, and money. It's a system. And the THIS system is exactly that. So this system here starts with the triad of health. Then we get into the hierarchy of health. Then we get into what I call the infinity or infinite care system. And then we talk about the 7 directives of BioLimitless. Okay. So understanding that we live in a world with chronic stress, with toxic overload, with emotional traumas and stresses, with poor lifestyle choices, because people are treating their symptoms, right? And they don't have a system. Well, this system has allowed me to have a 90+% success rate with helping my patients. And the THIS system truly is a game changer. So let me go through this one by one so that you can understand how this system is right for you and how we're more than just a vitamin company. BioLimitless is not a vitamin company. We make amazing products. We make amazing vitamins. We make amazing systems, but it's about the process. Okay. I need you to understand that you're going to see all kinds of fads in life come and go, especially in healthcare. I mean, everybody's talking about methylene blue right now, and everybody's talking about peptides, but most people don't know how to use peptides. They've never used peptides before. You're getting your information from social media influencers, which is just absolute insanity. You should be getting the truth from about peptides. I'll share that with you. Peptides is a small part of what we do, but the reality of it is peptides have been around since the 1930s and 1940s. And we've been using them in my practices for 20 years. So this isn't my first rodeo. And it's your health is more than peptides. Your health is also more than supplements, but your health is this. And this is what I want you to understand. The T in THIS starts with the triad of health, which every single doctor has learned the triad of health in Guyton's Physiology textbook of medicine. It's a standard textbook that every person that has a DR in front of their name, that's a actual practicing physician. So I'm talking about medical doctors, DOs, chiropractors, naturopaths, doctors of natural medicine. The 5 primary care doctors, at least here in the US, they've all studied this. And it talks about the fact that the triad of health is, imagine a 3-legged stool. Okay, imagine if you had a 3-legged stool, and if one of the legs of that stool was broken, it falls, and then your health fails with that. So the triad of health says that your health is made up of 3 primary categories. It's your physical health, your chemical health, and your neuro-emotional health. And if you have an imbalance in one of those, you're most likely going to have an imbalance in all 3 of those, right? This is the process that people need to understand. And you also have physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stresses. And I'll tell you, the main causes of issues in physical, chemical, and neuroemotional stresses are your thoughts, your traumas, and your toxins. And we're talking about toxins like crazy now. It's finally all over the mainstream that microplastics are causing damage to your health. Heavy metals are causing problems with our brain, with our gut. It's leading to neurological dysfunction. It's causing metabolic issues. It's leading to autoimmune issues. We know that to be the case. And we're seeing that now more than ever. We're aware of that. But if you have a physical problem in your body and you try to treat it with chemicals, like if you have a physical problem, like your shoulder's injured, and you try to treat it with anti-inflammatories, that doesn't fix the problem. You don't have a chemical problem. But you need to understand that the main causes of your symptoms are an imbalance chemically, physically, neuroemotionally. Now, we have created online quizzes. We've created dynamic surveys that you can take that literally helps you find out what is the primary root cause. Is it physical, chemical, or emotional stress that I need to focus on to improve my health? I just saw a gentleman earlier this week who's been dealing with chronic low back pain after a car accident. And listen, after a car accident, you would expect low back pain, right? But not after 10 years of a car accident. The guy's had chronic pain for 10 years. He's had surgeries, he's had injections, he's done pain management, physical therapy, chiropractic. Nothing worked. We did an exam of his brain and found out that he has a pattern in his brain of a stress overload. What does that mean? He had a PTSD exposure. Unfortunately, when that accident happened, someone passed away in that accident. And that's what hammered his brain. That's what caused some serious brain issues with him. So we actually put him on a brain balancing therapy to reduce his stress. And guess what? His back pain went away literally within that session. So that helped us identify that his physical problem was an actual emotional stressor. And if your physicians aren't looking at the thoughts, traumas, and toxins in your life, if you're not measuring your heavy metals and microplastics, you're going to the wrong doctors. We know that those are contributing factors to everything from heart disease to cancers to diabetes to autoimmune issues to chronic pain, fatigue, autism spectrum disorder, all these things, right? All these things. All right. So listen, the reality of it is that we've got to balance that three-legged stool, and it's not difficult to do it, but you got to know where to begin. And listen, that's why I always say, without knowledge, our people perish. But it's not the knowledge that's powerful; it's the wisdom. It's taking that information you learned and applying it to your life. So the T in the T.H.I.S system is the triad of health. All right. So we put that into consideration with every conversation we have with our patients, every conversation that we have with our supplements and protocols, and the recommendations that we are making, all are based off of this technology. So that's the T. Number two. So maybe somebody write down in the bottom, right? T equals triad of health for this. The second thing I want to talk about is the 12-tiered hierarchy of health. Okay. The 12-tiered hierarchy of health. This is so important. So think about, first of all, think about the triad of health. Well, let me back up because I want to give you this analogy first. Somebody just asked a question in the chat, which I'll answer later, but I think this analogy helps you. So let me give you the analogy of the triad of health system. So think of your body like a high performance sports car. Okay. Think about the physical aspects. The physical aspect is the frame. That's the frame of your car, right? The chemical is the fuel, and the neuroemotional is the computer system that helps run everything. Well, if one of those malfunctions, you're not going to go very fast. You're probably not going to go anywhere at all, and it's not going to be very safe. So health is a balance of physical, chemical, and neuroemotional well-being. Please understand that. All right. Number two, the triad of health. The second component to this system, the T.H.I.S system, is the hierarchy of health. Now, let me explain this a little bit because I've never really presented this on a deep level to the global community. I've presented this a lot to doctors. I've presented this a lot to healthcare specialists. We've even started writing some medical textbooks about this for self-care because the T.H.I.S is the system that helps you find out what your body's dealing with. That's true self-care. So listen to this. The hierarchy of health is a 12-step order of healing. It helps us prioritize what really matters the most and when. So it tells us when and how we should use something. And that's really important because you could have an entire cabinet full of the world's best supplements, medications, drugs, whatever you want to call them. But the reality of it is that if you don't know the process of when to put things in and the code, it's like knowing the combo to the safe is more important than knowing the numbers to put in. You have to know the frequency, the code of it. So the hierarchy of health is this 12 unique step order, and the foundations of it are step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's your DNA, your bacterial DNA, your nervous system function, your autonomic nervous system function, which by the way, step number 4 in the nervous system is where most people are failing right now. This is where we see problems with people that have POTS, people that have issues with neurological issues. They have anxiety, depression, insomnia. The American Medical Association just came out and said that we're now at the beginning of a 14-year increase in mental illness on a level we've just never seen in recorded history. And that deals a lot with the central nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. And then step number 5, which we talk about a tremendous amount, is your detoxification pathway. So you got to understand that you go through step 1, and the last step is step 12, which is musculoskeletal pain. How many of you have experienced this? Either yourself or someone you know has muscle pain, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, elbow pain, some type of a pain issue, and then they take a drug or they do a therapy or something. It gets a little bit better, but it never gets perfect, or it gets better, but it comes back. That's because there's something else going on in the 11 steps moving up to that in that hierarchy that needs to be dealt with. And it wasn't dealt with proper. Again, we've developed testing, we've developed surveys, we developed dynamic quizzes, all for you to be able to take, just like you're going into a functional medicine doctor's office to help identify what tier of the hierarchy is where you should start and where you should focus. So this is a really powerful tool if you really understand it. And the analogy I give is, think about like if you're building a house. If I'm building a house, you don't just start with furniture, you start with a foundation. Well, BioLimitless, we really honor the body's blueprint of healing from the inside out, not from the outside in. It's not about take this so you feel better. It's all about take this so that your body can function better, right? And so this 12-step system is a powerful, powerful tool that I want you to understand is a major part of what we are doing at BioLimitless. Because listen, if you understand the fact that your doctor's not going to come save you, your hospital's not going to come save you, your government's not going to come save you, you have to be your own health advocate. I mean, look at all the crazy stuff that's come out over the last 4 to 5 years that now is normal mainstream conversations that we said, that common sense folks said was a problem, and now we recognize it is. I know many of you understand that. So this hierarchy of health is one of the secrets to unlocking really the key for you to have empowerment. And that's all I want. I want you to be empowered. Like today, I spoke with a gentleman who was diagnosed with cancer. And this is his second time being diagnosed with cancer. And his first time he did chemo, radiation, did all the things. And the problem is that nobody talked to him about what was the root cause. Did he have problems in his DNA? Did he have bacterial DNA issues? Was it a brain or a central nervous system issue? Was it a detox pathway issue, a GI pathway issue, a lymph? What was it? Nobody addressed that. All they did was cut out tumors, radiate, and give him chemo. And he did great. He had no signs. He was in remission for 8 months. And then his cancer came back. Why? Because nobody took the time to go through the process to find out the root cause of the problem. By the way, I have a tremendous amount of oncologists that refer to me, and we co-manage their patients. They're doing the things that they decide to do, the patient wants to do, and I'm helping support and unlock the whole process. They're there with their fire hoses and axes like the fire department to put out the fire, and I'm there with my hammer, my nails, and my wood like the carpenter to put everything back together. There's a big difference. So this hierarchy of health system is a powerful system to understand. So that's the H. So somebody type in H equals hierarchy of health. The next thing is our infinity system. So this is what we call the infinity system because there's an infinity symbol going on in here. All right. The infinity symbol, if I want to take a little bit of time and explain this. This to me is also one of the most, it's one of the most powerful slides I'll ever show you. I could spend 10 hours lecturing on this topic alone. All right. Now on the left-hand side of the diagram, you see at the top an organism. That's you as a human being. And then you see next to that, you're made up of organ systems like your reproductive system and your nervous system and your mitochondrial digestive system. All those systems are made up of organs in the body, like your heart, your lungs, your brain, your testicles, your skin, etc. All those organs are made up of tissues. Well, in my conventional allopathic medical training, I learned how to measure those symptoms and manage those diseases. I learned how to measure blood pressure, measure high blood sugars, measure cholesterol, measure all the things and give pills for those. But that doesn't fix the problem. You see, what we need to focus on is the right hand side of this, which is the correct side of this. When I shifted from understanding that it's not about managing symptoms, but really helping people get to the root cause of the problem. And by the way, I've seen so many conventional allopathic doctors. I had a interesting conversation with an allopathic cardiologist recently who's like, all you natural doctors talk about getting to the root, getting to the root. Well, that's exactly what I do. And I said, no, you don't. You're managing their diseases. You're measuring their blood, and based off of their blood, you're prescribing a drug to minimize the symptoms. That's not a damn thing to do with treating the root cause of the problem. And after I gave him some analogies, he was like, "Oh my God, you're right. Maybe we should start looking at let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food," which is exactly what the founder of medicine said. That's what Hippocrates said. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, also said that if you heal the gut, everything else will fall into place. He was right then, as we are right about it today. So when I started moving everything to the cellular health and started realizing that the quality of your health is in direct proportion to the health of your cells, and in order to have healthy cells, the first thing you have to do is your cells have to be vibrating. Your cells have to be communicating. All of the trillions of cells in your body communicate through this little intercommunicational fluid and electrical signals, and it's called cell signaling. And as we get older, or the more physical, chemical, and emotional stress we have, the triad of health that I showed you on the first slide of this protocol of this system is if our body's out of balance, our cells don't work. And if our cells don't work, then our tissues don't work. Our organs don't work. Our organ systems don't work, and we get symptoms and we get disease. I don't care about your cancer. I don't care about your heart disease. I don't care about your diabetes. I care about the cause of it. And if you want to reverse it, and if you want to improve your health, then you should care about this as well. And your health is also driven by your mitochondria. Every single cell, including your fat cells, every cell of your heart, your brain, your lungs, your all this type stuff. The type of all the mitochondria is an engine, and it turns. It's the powerhouse of that cell. That mitochondria needs certain nutrients, it needs certain foods, it needs certain things in it to power. We created our cell signal technology to power up the mitochondria, to signal the cells to turn on. But that mitochondria gets plugged up. It gets compressed with microplastics and heavy metals. So we got to remove that out of the system. If we don't remove that out of the system, we can never fix the cellular health. It's all about the mitochondria. Okay. So listen to this. I thought this was a great analogy. First of all, traditional medicine stops when symptoms go away. Okay. But that's like putting a piece of tape over your car's check engine light. The Infinity Care System, which is what I'm talking about now, we go deeper. It looks at the root of the problem at a cellular and genetic standpoint, because we want to look at the mitochondria, the bacterial DNA. We want to look at the human DNA. You know, your bacteria, you have more bacterial DNA in and on your body than you do human cells in and on your body. And the bacteria tells your human cells how to respond. The bacteria tells your DNA how to respond. So that old phrase, you are what you eat, is so much more true than you can even imagine. But if 95% of the global population has some level of leaky gut and they're not doing the things to improve their health, this is a big problem. So that's why we created the Master Microbiotic Formula, because that is a spore-based microbiome formula that helps the body repair the damage that's been done to the body through leaky gut. And if you have leaky gut, you have leaky brain. You have leaky brain, you get all these other symptoms, and it's a big issue. And then last but not least is your human DNA. So Jennifer just says, okay, she says, hey, Dr. Eric, what type of DNA test do I recommend? I recommend that every man, woman, and child on this planet get a single nucleotide polymorphism genetic test. In fact, here at BioLimitless, this is the one that, look in the little bottom corner. That's our DNA test kit right here. I'll show you a picture of it in a moment, but that's our DNA test kit. I believe that every man, woman, and child should have a genetic profile. They need to measure around 800,000 SNPs is ideally, and more are coming down the pipe. And it needs to have a level of accuracy that's at least 99% higher or above. We do our test, it's 99.7% accurate, which is why sometimes when you run the test, I got to have you do another one because you didn't have your mouth wasn't cleaned out. You had kale or broccoli or chicken, and that contaminated your sample. If I don't have two samples that that shows a 99% similarity, then we don't recommend that. And our BioLimitless DNA test is second to none. It's truly a medical device. It was very difficult for me to get that direct to consumer, but we were able to do that. So let me give you an analogy, if you will, about the Infinity Care system. So think of your health like a garden. I love this analogy. You can pull weeds, which are like symptoms. I can pull your weeds of your symptoms of your garden all day long. Your neck pain, your back pain, your headaches, your migraines, your fatigue, your hormone issue, whatever. I can pull those weeds out, but unless you change the soil, unless I really change the soil and fertilize that soil, which are your cells, and your cells are fertilized by your mitochondria, your bacterial DNA, and your human DNA lifestyle exposure. So this model helps your body really understand what we focus on. What we focus on in BioLimitless is the right-hand side of this. That is also in our AI technology. So I'm giving you some behind-the-scenes looks at all this, and it's really, really super duper powerful. Let me see if I can pull up the last piece of this. Give me 1 second here. Let me find the image that I want to show you. It's this one right here. So check this out. Okay, this is our there we go. Our BioLimitless 7 directives. So this is the S in the T.H.I.S system. And this is the 7, if you will, step process that we go through, that we developed quizzes, online surveys, our testing that we do. This is how I've practiced now for multiple years. This is why I get asked to travel all over the globe, and people come see me from all over the world to find the root cause of their problems because we use this technology. So this is the S. It's the 7 directives, and there's 7 of them. The first one is reveal. We don't guess, we test. Run a genetic profile. Live it. Start with the BioLimitless DNA kit. That's the best place to start. Number 2, reset your body. Listen, our metabolic reset program truly is a game changer. I tell folks it's probably the best thing out there that can help your body reset to factory settings. But you have to have the discipline to do it. It doesn't work unless you work it. You know, we use the cellular reset formula, which is a game changer for folks, a major game changer for folks. But if you don't have the proper lifestyle with it, it's not going to work. You cannot out supplement a poor lifestyle. So we got to reset the body. I do those in 45-day increments. I've had people that have reset their body that want to just look younger, feel younger, help their body heal, get in a state of healing again. I've also had people that said, hey, I want to lose weight. I need to burn fat off my body. Well, there's a component of this that we can do that with. I've had folks lose 20, 30, 40, 60, 80. I had one couple, a husband and wife, lose over 220 pounds together. That's a lot of weight. So we got to reset the body. We got to remove the toxins. Listen, we live in a very toxic world. You're seeing and hearing about it all over the place. The Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary Kennedy, just put out a report that says, listen, the number one cause of chronic illness is chronic inflammation. And the number one cause of that chronic inflammation is environmental toxins. That's it. End of story. Drop the mic. That's the issue. It's the microplastics, it's the heavy metals, it's the glyphosates, it's the pesticides, larvicides, herbicides. This is no joke. This is real healthcare. This is real medicine. If you put this into life, you get real results. If this is not for you, then it's not for you. If you don't want real results, that's your decision. God gave us all free will, but I'm telling you, this really works. I'm in Missouri. It's the show me state. I'll show you how it works. If you put this into play and do it consistently, you get the result that you need. Then what we do is we recharge the body. That's the fourth directive. Okay. And by the way, these are not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We do these simultaneously. That's why it's important to know the triad of health for you. Where's your starting point? Your hierarchy of health. All right. What system is my biggest system that I need to focus on? Okay. Understanding the infinity system of cellular health gives you that understanding, those facts that your body can heal. And you're not just your symptoms. But the recharge your body, it's like a cell phone battery, and we want to improve the mitochondrial function, and we use our cell signal formula for that. I mean, we have a solution for every problem. And we have that because I've done this for 20 years, literally helping hundreds of thousands of people across the globe. And once we recharge the body, we get the cellular signal going, that vibration going again. Now we have communication. Now we get rid of fatigue. We get rid of brain fog. We get rid of slow metabolism. We get the body in a state of healing like it's supposed to. Again, that's what's happening here. So then we rebuild the body, and we rebuild the body through the gut microbiome. We use our master microbiotic spore-based formula that has the peptide BPC-157 in it that helps facilitate healing and sealing of a permeability within the gut. And if you don't understand leaky gut, it is one of the most important, if not the most important conversation to be having. I'll tell you that 9 out of 10 people that come into my practice with some type of problem, every one of them has leaky gut. Every one of them to some level. And so using these 7 directives really changes their life. Then a lot of times when our body's been stressed for so long, our nervous system gets stressed out. Our brain gets out of balance. We have 2 components of our brain. We have a gas pedal and we have a brake pedal. And most people's gas pedal stuck on go. You're stuck in that fight or flight response, that go, 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 go response. Well, your brake of your brain, the brakes, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, doesn't work like it's supposed to. So why is that? And what can we do about it? Well, why is because we live in a overly stressed out world and we don't know how to balance our nervous system. But I use the neuro reboot formula. And there's a whole program that we've created for people to help reboot their brain activity, to help them with neurological dysfunction and cognitive decline. And I mean, almost every person I put on neuro reboot says within a couple days, I can feel my brain turning back on again. My brain feels like it's 20 years younger. Those are common conversations I have with patients every day. And then directive number 7 is refuel your body. We want to refuel your body with the essential nutrients that's needed for cellular health function and tissue regeneration and your genetic lifestyle. A genetic test can tell you how you should eat, how you should sleep, how you should fast. It can give you kind of the foundational points for that. And the 7 directives here are really the way that we take care of our people. And so that really brings up this process. That's this right here. So if you look, what's really cool is I just laid out the biolimitless ecosystem. This is biolimitless, the triad of health, the hierarchy of health, the infinite care system, and then the 7 directives. This is it right here. Take a screenshot of this, take a picture of this, share this with your friends and family, because this is it. This is what it takes to get sick people well and to keep healthy people healthy. That's it. It's really that straightforward and that simple. So I wanted to take some time and share this system with you because this is what we talk about. You see, in the world we live in right now, everybody's getting their advice from social media. They're hearing things on TikTok. They don't know where to turn and where to go anymore. They don't trust the system. The system's broken. And what I want to do is empower you so that you can be your own advocate, your own physician. Physician, heal thyself. How many have ever heard that before? Well, that's real, you guys, and you really can help yourself, but you got to know what to do. So give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if you think that's unique. This system was really built out of frustration, and wait till you see it really go to work. Because when you see it really go to work, this is going to blow your mind without any question. So All right, let's go ahead and type in your questions below. I've got about 20 minutes or so that we can answer some questions. Let's see what we got. I see folks from all over the world, by the way. Hey, Lisa in the UK. Hey, Donna here in the US. Kaz is in the UK as well. Wendy says tens of thousands of dollars spent on trying to feel better. I totally get it because you're guessing, not testing, right? We got to get to the root of the problem. Okay, let's see what questions you have. There we go. All right, here's one right here. Katie says, this is Miss Katie. I'm going to pull you up. Hey, Katie. Katie says, how many times someone with MTHFR, Epstein-Barr virus, should go on a 45 reset? Okay, so this is a great question. So let's talk about this. So Katie, just listen to me. When you have MTHFR gene imbalances, that means that your body cannot methylate like it's supposed to. So it can't detoxify very well, and it also can't use your fuel in your body to convert it over to nutrients and usable ATP like it's supposed to. That's why fatigue sets in and we get all kinds of symptoms with MTHFR. So here's what I will tell you. First of all, following the MTHFR lifestyle is the most important thing. So no gluten. So gluten-free has to be. And you cannot have synthetic B vitamins. So no fake B12 and no fake folic acid. You can't have folic acid. It has to be the methylated form. So in the cell signal formula, we have the methylated B12. So it's methylcobalamin. And we also have the folate, methylated folate, which is the 5 methylfolate, which is the 5-MTHF. That's the best, most usable form, the best bioavailable form of folate on the market. Everybody should be on that, period. Now, some people who take a lot of folate or even the methylated B12 can over methylate a little bit, and that can cause them to have some symptoms from time to time. This formula has glycine and phosphatidylserine in it, so you don't have that. This is made for MTHFR folks. I made this because I'm an MTHFR guy. I made this because all my kids are MTHFR. I made this because 70+% of my patients are MTHFR, and they didn't know what to do. And they got tired of guessing. So this helps with that. Now, Epstein-Barr virus is interesting. I want you to understand that viruses, we have a microbiome in the body, and we also have a microbiome. So our microbiome is our viruses that we collect. And those viruses we collect over time are really important for our health. If, when you get exposed to viruses at a young age, like for example, chickenpox. Chickenpox is a zoster virus. When you get exposed to a zoster virus early on in life and you deal with it and you have natural immunity, it actually reduces the risk of other diseases and certain cancers as you get older. Because when you get exposed to a virus, your immune system now learns how to overcome that and it gets stronger. Your immune system literally is in boot camp. And I don't know why we forgot that that's how it works, but sanitizing everything and sterilizing everything is a big problem. So make sure that with Epstein-Barr that we're really helping improve and boost immune system function. So when those viruses like Epstein-Barr, which is mono, it's a kissing virus, right? Epstein-Barr, typically once we get exposed to it, it gets into our system. And then if we have a weakening of our immune function, it's going to raise its head again, kind of like that chickenpox. That zoster virus that you got as chickenpox as a kid is dormant in the cells of your body. And when your body's under physical, chemical, or emotional stress that you can't handle, the immune system function weakens, and now you get a shingles outbreak. That's where it comes from. You didn't catch another virus. You didn't catch a cold. You didn't catch shingles. It's inside your system. And there's lots of viruses like that. Human papilloma virus, cytomegalovirus virus. You name it. I could name a ton of them. So what do? We got to improve the immune system. All right. So first of all, detox your body using the Detox Pro Plus to pull the toxins out of the body. That's a game changer because those toxins are causing negative impacts on your immune system in a very big way. The second thing that we want to do is improve the gut microbiome because some 80% of your immune system starts in the gut-associated lymphatic tissue. So using the actual master microbiotic formula, really smart in a situation like that. Eating for your DNA lifestyle. Most people who are MTHFR need a protein heavy keto diet. Protein heavy keto diet, which means they're getting very little carbohydrates in their body from breads, pastas, grains. They don't have gluten in their system because that's a big issue as well with Epstein-Barr virus. And then I'll tell you the cell signal formula because of the MTHFR, and it helps that ATP cycle turnover. It's going to improve your immune system function. So I do those three. But if Epstein-Barr does not go away, there's a blood test that you can run. It's called CD8 and CD4. CD8, CD4 blood test. It measures your T cells in your body. We're seeing a tremendous amount of suppression of T cells because of recent infections that people have gotten or recent injections of infections that they've gotten. And you know what I mean by that. Okay. And this virus and this spike protein people have, it really is, it's suppressing the T cells. So it's knocking down the T cell function in the body. So it's suppressing the immune system. If the immune system suppresses, now those old viruses, Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus virus, Lyme's disease, all those other things can raise their ugly head again. So it's not just one thing to do. It's a system to do. But that's a great question. Okay, put the rest of your questions in there, guys, and I'll answer those. So let's see. Here's one right here. Richard says, "Hey, Dr. Naputi, thanks for all you do and all you sharing with everyone. Was wondering what your recommendations would be to treat nail fungus, especially toe fungus." All right, now listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you have fungus in your nails, you have fungus systemically in your body. That's an overgrowth of a bad bacteria, fungus. Number one, 100% Detox Pro Plus. Start on it. Like I would do it 2 dropperfuls twice a day, Richard. And I do that for 45 days. Why? Because I want to really clear stuff out of my body. If I want to get really aggressive, I'll do it 3 times a day. Then what I would do is I would use the Master Microbiotics because you got to get your good bacteria built up so that it can fight off the candida, the yeast, the fungus, and even parasites. And the Detox Pro Plus is anti-parasitic. And it's going to give you the minerals that you need. And most doctors will tell you that one of the reasons why people have chronic sickness, illness, and infections and a weak immune system is simply because they do not have enough minerals. So that Detox Pro Plus solves that problem. Now, some other things you can do. There's a type of an oil. So first of all, coconut oil is good to put on your toenails. Soaking your feet in a Epsom salt bath, like 2 or 3 cups of Epsom salt, half a cup of borax, put 4 or 5 drops of frankincense oil in that foot bath. Let your feet soak for like 30 to 40 minutes. Then after your feet have soaked, go get some emu oil. Either emu oil. Some people use Vicks Vapor Rub. It can work, but not as well as the emu oil does. Put that on your toenails. Mercurochrome sometimes is needed, but if it's under your nails, that's a tough situation. In my practices, we actually do IVs of high-dose vitamin C, silver, and a couple other things to help the body deal with systemic fungal infections. But I'll tell you, a lot of people do really well with doing those foot baths, and I do those regularly, a couple times a week, and then put that either mercurochrome on it, emu oil on it, or you can put a little coconut oil too, because that's very antifungal, antiparasitic. Or you can put the Vicks Vapor Rub on the toenails themselves. Those are all good to do. But if you don't fix the root cause, I don't care how much you put on your feet. You just see it on your feet. That's like that check engine light going off in your car. It's not fixing the root cause of the problem. So Richard, try that. If you don't see a big change in that in 45 days, let me know. And we can dig a little bit deeper into that. Hey, Miss Donna. Donna says, thank you. I'm here for such a time as this. Amen. Me too, sister. Really appreciate you guys. And I really appreciate all the help your body does. Michael says, hey, can I expand on why and what kind of water is important to remove, rebuild, and refuel the body? Well, first of all, a lot of us are sick, Michael, because of the water we're drinking. Okay. Our water is toxic. There's a lot of fluoride in it and a lot of chlorine in it. You go look up fluoride right now and chlorine, a picture of that on the internet. You're going to see the skull and crossbones on it, because it's literally, it can destroy your body. It can kill you. Okay. And so you want to have a system that can pull that out. You want to have a system that can actually put minerals back in. Like I have a system that pulls out fluoride and chlorine and puts minerals back into the water. And then we have a hydrogen infusion system with it. So I'm a big fan of a hydrogen infused system. That's structured water. Our body's really not made up of water. I cut myself, water doesn't leak out. The water inside of our cells is more like a gel. It's more like a thick, viscous type of a fluid. So so I like hydrogen infused water, mineral infused water, and water, Michael, that doesn't have chlorine, fluoride, and man, in the water we drink, there's antibiotics in your water. It's almost impossible to get that out of your water system. There's other medications that are in there. I mean, there's all kinds of toxins in our water, and there's a tremendous amount of forever chemicals in there, the PFAS. And so what I do at least once, if not twice a day, is I take my Detox Pro Plus, put 2 dropperfuls of it in a big old thing of water, squeeze a lemon or lime, and put a big old pinch of organic sea salt in there. And I drink that down as well. That's what I call biolimitless living water. So great question, Michael. Appreciate that. All right. Miss Donna says, hey, where can I get the DNA test? So we have the DNA test going live back on our website, either by the end of this week or early next. We printed off a lot of them for our Japan. We have a lot of people all over the world we see. We printed them off for our Japanese community. And it's taking a little longer to get it put in Japan. So either by Friday or Monday, it'll be ready on our website. Now, here's what I'm telling you. Those of you, listen to me, very important. Those of you that are wanting to find out more about the products, more about the testing we do, more about the system of biolimitless. We're a new organization coming out globally. Okay. We're very new, and we've got an amazing infrastructure that's being built around us. And we have amazing influencers that are promoting biolimitless all across the globe. We have folks on here from Cameroon. By the way, I know some of you are having difficulties getting stuff shipped to you. That's because there's a lot going on in the world right now with tariffs and taxes and shipping issues. It's a great time to start a global shipping company. Trust me, I'm doing it right now. Just be patient. If you're having trouble getting stuff, I'll get it to you and we'll make it up to you. I promise. Okay. But what we're doing is bringing things globally to the planet that no one's done before. Medical DNA testing, literally pharmaceutical grade nutraceuticals, peptides, gut bacteria detox that actually works. I mean, real medicine, real science, bringing it right to your household. That's just never been done before. So it's a bit of a process. Now, Donna says, where do I get the DNA test? There's 3 types of people that are on this call right now. Number 1, someone who's already in the biolimitless family. If you're already in the family, that means you got a link. That means you got a back office. You can go there and you can purchase that DNA kit as soon as it's available. Boom, go get it. I've already had tens of thousands of people do it. Then we changed the kits a little bit, make it a little bit better, and now we're relaunching that part. So that's coming any day. The second type of person that's on here is someone who maybe that you found us on social media. Maybe you're a patient of mine and you don't have a link to go to, but maybe you were referred here by someone. Like a friend of yours is an influencer. A friend of yours is someone in our biolimitless family. Call them, text them, ask them for their link. I want to support every single person that's in our biolimitless global family. And boy, are we growing. Okay. And boy, are we going to continue to grow. We got some amazing stuff coming down the pipe. But if you don't have someone to get a referral from and you're not in the system already, then you can go to the website. It's wearebiolimitless.com. That's wearebiolimitless.com. You can see all the products, services, and our testing is there, and more is being added on a regular basis. So Donna, great question. Okay. Miss Rose asked a question about SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So listen, here's the deal with that. So what does that mean? You have good bacteria in your body and bad bacteria. SIBO means that you have a little bit more of the bad bacteria, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So that means you don't have enough of the good bacteria. What do I do with every single person, every single patient of mine that has small intestine bacterial overgrowth? Here's what I do with them, Rose. I'm going to tell you right now. Number 1, I change their lifestyle. We put them on intermittent fasting, where they're fasting for 18 to 16 hours a day. They're eating between a 6 to 8 hour window. That's their feeding time. Now, we're using certain specific foods to help their body. A ketogenic diet with good healthy fats, especially good organic, pure extra virgin olive oil, ghee butter, and any type of butyric acid or butyrate. Those are amazing to help the body heal and seal itself. Now, Small intestine bacterial overgrowth. I've never, ever, ever in the history of the world seen it without someone having leaky gut. And I'm telling you, the leaky gut was the contributing factor that caused the small intestine bacterial overgrowth to happen. So we've got to kill off some bad bacteria, parasites, candida, yeast, etc. I put every single patient that has SIBO on the Detox Pro Plus, Rose. I actually, the maintenance dose for this is 2 dropperfuls 1 time a day. Okay. For my SIBO patients, the first 6 weeks, 45 days, 2 dropperfuls, morning, noon, and nighttime. Okay. And then that's, by the way, that'll kill off biofilm. That'll lower some of the bacterial overgrowth in there. It'll deal with some parasites. It'll deal with some candida as well. Now, second thing that we do is I load them up on the master microbiotics because they need the good bacteria to heal and seal their gut. And do not waste your time, money, or energy. Please, for the love of God, do not buy your supplements on Amazon. Do not buy your probiotics at Walmart or Walgreens. They're junk. They're crap. You're better off taking the bottle that it's in. And that's not just Dr. Eric saying that. That's what the research has been proven and shows. Okay. This is a particular type of master microbiotic probiotic. This has specific types of lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, and enterococcus. These are certain bacteria that kill off the bad bugs. When you kill off the bad bugs, you're going to get die-off. You're going to get bloatiness, crampiness, distension. You're going to get pain. You're going to have symptoms, Rose. If you take this with it, you won't have as many, if any at all. So for the first 45 days with SIBO, I'm 2 in the morning, 2 midday, and 2 night with both of these. I'm hitting it hardcore. And I'm tweaking the diet, making sure that I'm feeding it a lot of good fats, a lot of good clean protein. I'm minimizing my exposure to oxalates. So no kale, no spinach, no broccoli, no corn, no hard roughage in your body for at least 45 to 90 days to give your body a chance to heal that. SIBO is very common, and they make it sound like it's such a big deal in medicine, like SIBO, you've got SIBO. You've got small intestine overgrowth of bad bacteria, which means you need to kill off the bad bugs, which means you need to replace the good ones. You need to take a detox formula, and you need to be patient and give your body probably 90 days to heal it. That's it. But a lot of people get serious infections and serious other comorbidities with SIBO because they've got leaky gut, and now that toxins in their intestines are leaking into their blood. That's a problem. Okay. That's a big, big problem. Let's see. Okay. Another question. Any other question? I got time for one more. Hold on. Let's do maybe 2 more. Okay. So let's do this one. This is a good question. Teresa says neuropathy. Can this be fixed by fixing the gut? Okay. Is this the real reason okay. Neuropathy. Everybody knows what a nerve is. Okay. Around the outside of the nerve is a myelin sheath, a sheath of fat. It's a protective sheath. It's kind of like coax cable around a cord. Inside this little rubbery plastic cable, there's 3 wires. And if those wires are exposed, they don't work like they're supposed to. They can't conduct current like they're supposed to. Well, that's neuropathy. And most neuropathy only has 3 causes. There can be 4. I will tell you that nutritional deficiencies can be, especially mineral deficiencies, can cause neuropathy. So number 1, minerals, load up on minerals. Detox Pro Plus, taking good, healthy, organic, clean sea salt every day, about 1/3 to 1/2 of a teaspoon every day. Awesome. That'll help with that one. The second one is physical problems. Remember the triad of health? Physical issues. You could have a misalignment of vertebrae in your spine. You could have a disc that's bulged or herniated, pushing on a nerve. That can cause neuropathy. In that case, you need physical medicine, adjustments, therapies, chiropractors, all those things, stretching, yoga, exercise, whatever you do to get that misalignment back into alignment is what you need to do. The next reason is diabetes, type 1, type 2, or type 3. Okay. Too much sugar on a nerve for too long demyelinates that nerve. It cuts the coax cable away, and it doesn't work like it's supposed to. Okay. Now, you'll never fix neuropathy on someone who's still a diabetic. If anybody has an A1C, which is a blood test for blood sugar issues above a 6.5, that's diabetes. So we've got to get the blood sugars under control. And doing a 45-day reset is a game changer for that. I just had a gentleman who finished his second round of 45 Easy Challenge. So he did the 45 Easy food plan. He did the weight loss track for fat loss. He's 90 days in. He's lost 80 pounds. That's a very rare amount, but he's lost 80 pounds nonetheless. His A1C went from an 11.5 to now below a 5.5. So his blood sugars are normal. He's no longer diabetic. Now we can repair those nerves. So remember, anyone who's a diabetic, we got to go through those steps. Like, look at this. Let me show you again. Teresa, check this out. Let me blow this up. Maybe you can see this better. So look at the 7 directives here. If I got a diabetic, I got to reveal first why. Take a test. Number 2, I'm going to reset their system. I'm going to use the 45-day reset. I'm going to use the Detox Pro Plus to remove the toxins. I'm going to recharge those cells with that cell signal formula. So every single neuropathy patient I have, I put on the Detox Pro Plus, the Master Microbiotics, and the cell signal formula, and I reset their body. We do that all at the same time. And I tell them we're going to do this for at least 90 days, and then we're going to see what your levels look like and how you're functioning and feeling. The last cause of neuropathy is someone who's had exposure to radiation. Chemo and radiation, cancer treatments can cause these problems as well. So listen, there's so many. I've got so many questions to answer. By the way, Thursdays I do my AMAs where I'll jump on and a lot of your questions that you guys have. By the way, if you don't ever get your questions answered by me, I'm going to do my best to answer them. I get thousands of them a day, literally thousands. Okay. And so I do my best to answer those on these webinars like this. And then I'm doing at least once a week. This week happens to be tomorrow. I'm doing an Ask Me Anything tomorrow. I think it's 5:00 Central Time. I'll double check and let you guys know. But if I don't answer your questions, go to biolimitless.com, the website, biolimitless.com. In the top left-hand corner of the site, it says Ask. Click that button, ask your questions there, and I'll either answer those on an AMA, I'll answer them on a video, I'll answer them on a podcast, or I'll answer them live here. Because I want you guys to get your questions answered. There's just so many people that it's hard to get to all of them. So my last one I'm going to do, let's do this one right here. 1 second. Dr. Chari, hey, it's great to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Dr. Moody, thank you. Your products are incredible. I'm recommending the Detox Pro Plus and the Master Microbiotics to my patients as the foundation of the program. Me too. Me too. Amen to that. And I cannot wait to hear the results that your patients get. I'm promising you, it will be a game changer. And if your patients are talking about their energy's low, their metabolism's slow, they can't, they're craving sugars and all those as well, doc, add that cell signal to those people. That's the triad. The duo I put everybody on is the Detox Pro Plus and the Master Microbiotics. The trio is the Master Microbiotics, the cell signal, and the Detox Pro Plus. If someone were to say, I have, by the way, my tomorrow night AMA, I just was told by my team, is 7:00 Central Time. 7:00 Central AMA right here on this site, biolimitless.com/live, or on all my social media channels. Okay. So the single dose, if someone says, what do? I don't know where to start them on the detox. It's hard for me to say detox versus Master Microbiotics, but start them on the detox. That's the best place to start. And then put them on the Master Microbiotics and then do the cell signal if you can do all three. So you guys, amazing time together. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, if you learned something. How many of you know people who probably should have been here tonight? How many of you know people that really need to hear this information? You guys can go to our website, biolimitless.com. All of these Wellness Wednesdays are there. All the webinars I do, all the white papers I write, all the stuff we do is on that site. Click the link and share it with your friends, family, and loved ones, folks. I really appreciate our opportunity to be together. I want you to know I really believe this and know this. Knowledge is power, but it's wisdom, taking that action step of the knowledge and information you learn and applying it to your life. That's the key to the breakthrough, and be consistency. Give yourself time, patience, and grace to get better. Remember, it took you months, years, and decades to get messed up. It's going to take a little while to fix your problems, you guys. So thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed our time together today. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America. God bless all over the world where all of you are watching from. And stay tuned because the best is yet to come. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you all tomorrow night right here on our AMA, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Be well, everybody. Take care.